what I want to do is take you through this, sir. So we've got that up, and I've explained it already. So I understand the protest begins at January 28th, 2022. And in that entire time period until February 13th, 2022 at 11:59 p.m., there are a total of 4 charges laid for assault. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I'd love to know the specific sub-nature of the assault.
And so that's a period of 17 days.
How many tens of thousands of people? That's probably better than the Ottawa average. Okay, I say that, I'm not sure, but
I don't believe from the 29th to the 13th is 17 days.
Well, it's 29th. They put the first charge first. You'll see that it doesn't have every single date on it. They only put the dates on it with respect to.
I agree. It's not 17 days. It's only 14 days.
Charged at all.
I think it's just simple math. 29 to 13 is not.
And it's not 17.
It's
Oh,
16.
it's 16.
Is it? Okay. That's
Oh.
why I went to law school. I can't do math.
And that's why this guy's a weaselly witness, so he can
agree with
avoid
me
answering the
that
question.
Between January
16
29th to
days.
February 13, there was a total of
Weasels.
4 assault charges laid then. We can agree on that.
Yes.
And
Okay.
with
Thank you,
respect to assaults with a weapon, from that same time period, there was a total of 1 assault with a weapon charge.
What was the weapon?
Yes.
All right.
Is it a hockey
And
stick?
if we can scroll down. Oh, no, just back up. Sorry, my apologies.
I'm wondering if there's a Twitter account called.
Can you agree with me that in the entire same time period, there was no charges under the criminal code for causing a disturbance by fight or shouting or swearing?
That's yes.
And there was no charges laid against any of the protesters in that same time period for causing a disturbance by impeding or molesting a person?
That's correct.
All right. And there were also no charges laid with disturbing an occupant of a dwelling, apartment, or complex under the criminal code either, was there?
Oh,
That's
snap.
correct.
Okay. Can we scroll down? Perfect. And can you agree with me in that time period, that is from January 29th to February 13th at 11:59 p.m., there was no charges of inciting hatred in a public place ever laid, was there?
Correct.
And
For
you can
obvious
agree with me
reasons.
that in the same time period that only 1 charge of intimidation by threat of violence was ever laid.
Laid. Charge.
If we can, last one, there was no charge either in that same time period for taking a weapon of a police officer in execution of his duty.
Kind of random, but okay.
Correct.
And in that same time period, there was never any charges of uttering threats to property to damage property under 264.1
And yet this guy testifies
criminal
under
code
oath,
either, right?
harassment,
Correct.
assaults.
So there's a total of 5 violent offenses charged between January 28th, 2022 and February 13th, 2022. Is that right?
So I'm not sure how you're classifying violent charges, and we'd have to go through them again to identify.
So anything dealing with an assault or threatening to cause bodily harm or to kill someone. There's 5 charges in relation to that.
I'll take your word for it. We'd have to go through the list again.
Okay. So you'd agree with me that that's not unprecedented violence, is it?
I would like to know what Ottawa's average is.
So as I defined violence, it wasn't strictly criminal code violence, and I'm happy to again go through the definition that I was using when I was talking about community violence. This is a part of it. Threats, charges under the criminal code was a part of it, but it was the trauma that the community felt. It was the
looking up to the
extreme
side.
circumstances that they were exposed to and the duration of time that they were exposed to that has very clearly been described to me by community members as violence inflicted on them.
Now it's third party hearsay
that's
violence.
The honking, right? Is one of them.
Honking would be one of them.
The
honking is violence.
I believe the exhaust coming from trucks.
But I think it's important you put it in context. It's the honking of large air horns
Right.
of approximately 3 to 4 to 500 trucks simultaneously for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It was actually only
tooting a little horn.
consistently for
It's the
6 days.
incessant noise pollution that is being
Violence.
inflicted on the people that we were referring to.
Right. And we've already heard evidence that as of February 7th, when Mr. Champ and his client, Zexi Lee, obtained an injunction with respect to silencing those horns, things got better. You agree?
Well, I think they got better for a period of time, yes.
Right.
But that was on the 7th. That was 9 days, 10 days into the circumstance.
But we're discussing the
And
EA, which was
it's also
2
the
weeks
fact
after that. So if it was no longer an
the
issue,
trucks that were
you don't get to
blocking
invoke
up
the
downtown
EA.
Ottawa, in that area, we've heard some evidence that there's about 18,000 people. Is that right?
That would be accurate, I believe.
And what's the entirety of the population of Ottawa?
Just over a
150.
million.
Just over a million. So 18,000 residents were the ones being put through the violence
Ottawa
as you define it.
itself is a million.
I don't think the size of the amount of people that were being exposed to it minimizes the trauma that those community members felt and very clearly expressed. On the general population of Ottawa, it was a smaller number, but it doesn't minimize the impact it had on that number of people. and that group
The
of
feeling of
Thank you.
violence.
And this is the last document I want you to refer. I've given very short notice. It only became relevant because some questions my friend from the federal government asked. It's pb.nsc.can.0003256
Give the
REL.0001.
freaking exhibits normal numbers. Come on. It's not his fault. I don't know why they've not labeled these documents for ease of reference. It was violence
if you could
that
scroll
they
down
felt, that they
Just
expressed
to
to
the second
him,
page, please.
that he took to the prime minister
Thank
after
you.
the honking had
So just so you
stopped
know, this
to
is- and
invoke the
I'm not-
Emergencies Act.